What's up, people? This is Big Boss Calvin 83. I gotta talk about this. I should have been talking about this yesterday. But when you with family and you with friends, it's hard to really have time to yourself, and especially when you really don't live alone. But it's hard to just, and you're busy too. It's just hard to do videos, and especially when you have people who don't like your content to begin with, because many people already know who I am. There are people within my family and circle of friends of their friends, already know what I do. And with their plans, and some of my family members, not gonna mention any names, or and the friends that are associated with them, they got an agenda to run for politics. And my thing about this whole political thing, it's just I just don't believe in it, because you cannot be fucking honest with people, and plus you gotta pander to certain demographics of people, and they don't care about your fucking issues. But you gotta tell people what the fuck they want to hear, so you can get a vote. You tell the truth, you ain't gonna get that far. You are not going to get that far. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna talk about my take on, America taking down their historical monuments and statues, their monuments, memorabilia, and statues, in all these cities across the country, especially in the South. You know what I'm saying? You know what? My thing is, I don't see what the issue is, and why people are in their feelings. Those I'm speaking to, Caucasian people, why in the fuck are you in your feelings about this? You talk about it's our history, blah blah blah. I'm going to talk about that for a minute. Let me address this. Why you Caucasians care? Since when do you Caucasian people care about fucking history? You want to represent your Confederate fucking flag, whether it be in the North or the South, because when I was in New Jersey, I saw a lot of Confederate flags. So it's not just in the South, it's also in the North, and I'm pretty sure it's out in the West Coast too. The Midwest, definitely. But these hick ass, dumbass motherfuckers, these trailer trash motherfuckers, these uppity, fake-ass, progressive, Caucasian liberals, all y'all motherfuckers are racist. All you motherfuckers are the same. All y'all are Caucasian supremacists. And let me say this: if you're not like that, I'm not talking about. If you're a Caucasian person and you're not racist, you're against Caucasian supremacy, I'm not talking about you. But my question for the umpteenth time: what are you doing to stop racism and end Caucasian supremacy? I don't need Caucasians to be marching with so-called black folks. And as a matter of fact, I don't need you, other ethnicities of color, other ethnic people of color, brown people, to be marching with us, because y'all don't give a fuck about us either. You Caucasian folks don't give a damn about so-called black people, because if you were not racist and you were against racism and you were against Caucasian supremacy, you would have destroyed the system of racism and eradicate that system of Caucasian supremacy, where y'all motherfuckers get white privilege from and benefit from. That's what y'all would have done a long time ago. Y'all would have ended. First of all, y'all would never enslave my ancestors. Then come up with these bullshit ass cop outs and excuses. Well, other Africans sold other Africans into slavery, which is bullshit, which is a fucking lie. Okay, the amount of people that Europeans collected, Caucasian people collected from Europe, from Western Europe, and brought these Africans to Europe, to like England, the UK, and then brought them down to the East. So when they settled in America, and they stopped off at the East Coast and kept on going, and they went off to other islands like Jamaica, the Caribbean, Barbados, Cuba, then South America. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, there was a lot of melanated people, specifically African people, what you call so-called black people, what y'all like to address us as, the original people of color, or the original people, the original man or woman, black people. That's what we're going to say. That's what the terminology we're going to go by. Black people were already everywhere. We were in Asia. We were in Europe already. We were the first people on the fucking planet. You know what I'm saying? We were in North America and South America and all these other continents, all these other parts of the world. Why do you think when you go to these places, and sometimes when you go to these islands, some of these Asian islands like Indonesia, even parts of Pakistan and India, and Southeast Asia, East Asia, why do you see dark-skinned people? And how come they got the African features? Even though some of these Asian people would like to be in denial of it, they got our characteristic, they got our DNA. And they already said it in China. One of the Chinese people, historians, already discovered that they already have African African blood, okay? Same with the Middle East, African blood, baby. Same with Europe. We were already here before these, before Caucasians became in existence, okay? All these other groups of people, but specifically other ethnic groups of color, they already got our DNA. They came from us. You know what I'm saying? But they want to be in denial and think they got Caucasian blood in them, and they think they look more identify with Caucasian because their skin can be a little fair sometimes. They know that you look at the characteristics, you look at all these other groups, you look at an Asian person's face. They got our noses, our facial structure, jawbone, and all that. Some, men and women. Just look at how they're built. Yeah, there's a little difference, but it's not that much different. There's a similarity in attitude and how we connect. Look at the East Indians. Look at the Arabs. You know what I'm saying? What you call these other indigenous people, like the Aborigines in Australia, and those in the Caribbean, they call Latinos. Caribbean Latinos at that, but they would say Hispanic, but Hispanic is more from Spain, and that's from Spanish. That's more of a Caucasian identification of terminology. You know what I'm saying? These other groups, even to a degree, Caucasian people came into existence because of us as so-called black people getting them out of caves and shit. So, and they treated us like shit afterwards, But my thing is, they like to say that only so-called black people only came from Africa and we just stayed out in America, and that's not true. We were already walking the whole globe and all these different. We were already in these continents, walking and roaming the earth. You know what I'm saying? This is why we got to know our history. But let me continue. Y'all say you Caucasian folks like to tell so-called black people to forget our history and get over slavery, Jim Crow, and what have you. But the fact of the matter is, y'all never forget your history. Y'all always teaching your children history. The reason why y'all like to brag about it because you are the benefactor. You're the beneficiary of evil history. You're the benefactor. You're the beneficiary of reaping the benefits of your forefathers and mothers. The dirt they did of colonization throughout the damn globe, throughout the fucking planet. Everything you fucking touch turns to shit. You colonized. You enslaved people of color, indigenous peoples. You stole their land and resources. You raped and pillaged and stole wealth and other resources for profit. got free slave labor out of us. I mean, and when it comes to my ancestors, particularly, you like to say so-called African American. You know, let's talk about that. First of all, you know, my dad's from Jamaica, but he's not really. He's a person of color, but he's mixed with Portuguese and West Indian. But again, let me say this again. That does not denounce me of being less black, okay? I know who the fuck I am, technically. And I still need to learn more about myself. But what I'm going to say is this. To you Caucasian folks, y'all have an ugly history. There's nothing to be proud of. Y'all have enslaved people, particularly my ancestors. Attacked, bombed, stole land and wealth and resources, tried to destroy the history, tried to rewrite history. What you call history is really his story. Caucasian males and females, his story. But particularly the Caucasian male, his story, supported by the Caucasian female because she benefits from evil too, from the evil doings of Caucasian males. You enslaved, y'all attacked, brutalized, maimed, raped, pillaged, tortured people, kidnapped people, molested children, raped women, raped men. Yes, that has happened. You brought my ancestors, you took them out of their fucking land, then you victim blame us and say, well, it was your own people's fault, which is bullshit. When you coerced them and some of you deceived them, that's where we kind of had to bond trusted among each other because we didn't stick together because we're so damn nice. But let me say this on the side, as a side note, Jewish people sold other Jewish people in the fucking concentration camps, but y'all don't throw that shit in their fucking faces to you Caucasian folks. Y'all don't do that. Y'all don't victim blame the Jews. You don't tell Jewish people, you don't tell the American Jews, well, the Holocaust did not happen in America, so why are you crying, why are you bitching? It don't have no effect on you. Y'all don't say some anti-Semitic shit like that. You don't tell Jewish people to get over the fucking Holocaust. It was a long time ago. You need to move the fuck on. Y'all don't say that shit because you know you're gonna have some fucking war with these fucking Jews because now these Jewish people, especially the select elite class, those who are part of the elite class, will fuck you Caucasian people up. Even though these so-called Jews, because the original Jews are so-called black people. You know what I'm saying? But back to that, you Caucasian folks, you enslaved, you beat, you tortured women and children and men. You brutalized and tortured people. You had my ancestors in this little ass boat, and they had to pee and shit on themselves, and they were sick to death. Some of them died of terminal illnesses because of the harsh conditions, got diseases from being in the cramped space. You torturing them, beating them, I'm branding them, raping the fuck out of them. And these corporations like the banks and these insurance companies got fat off of us, made big time profit off of slavery and exploitation. Then you throw these other Africans overboard where the sharks ate them and they drowned to death. You didn't even free them. That's so fucking barbaric. It's not even funny. You know what I'm saying? That's so inhumane and forcing them to eat toxic food like pork and other nasty shit. Fucked up nasty ass food. And these Caucasians are worse than hygiene when it comes to preparing food, folks. Okay, so you gotta be careful where you get your food from, if you know what I'm saying, at these restaurants and these fast food chains, okay? But I continue. The torture did not stop. Y'all history is so damn evil and inhumane. When we got to North America, let's get started. Let's talk about the Native Americans. Y'all enslaved them at one point. Y'all beat the fuck out of them, terrorized them, gave them diseases, fucked them over, took the land of North America and the land of so-called black people who was already there and enslaved them and put us in a fucking box with the other Africans. Forced us to work for free, work free labor, slave labor, and we didn't get a penny off of it. You know, and we should get it. We should get reparations. But I digress. Let's continue. Not only that, beat us to death, force us to work long fucking hours, and you got these fucking ugly ass sweatshops. I mean, it's still going on with these Caucasian motherfuckers. They're just doing it in Mexico and China and these other Asian countries and these other what you call Latino countries. You know what I'm saying? Latin American countries specifically. You know, but where you get your products from, Walmart and all that type of shit, and then they're doing rape and pillage and colonizing Africa. And to bring their nastiness, raping kids and raping women and children, raping men and torturing men, mutilating their bodies, lynching them lynching the people, stealing land from the people, stealing wealth and resources, and manipulating and brainwashing people, robbing them of their culture and language, like they did to us, and like from when we were brought here from these slave ships, yo. Y'all know what I'm saying. It is what it is. Free slave labor built this country from the ground up, being whipped to death, raped to death, tortured to death, children being raped, you know, being sodomized and all that shit. You know, men and women being sodomized, beaten to death, burnt alive, branded, tortured in the harshest conditions. Bodies mutilated, being lynched, being falsely lied on and lied to. You know, if you serve this country like we have, we get nothing still. We don't get no reparations. Our towns are being destroyed, burnt the fuck down because they're fucking jealous, because we pulled ourselves by our fucking bootstraps, but they never done a fucking thing. They never struggled for nothing. Over our racist Caucasian females lying on so-called black men saying, oh, she was raped and all that shit, when it didn't fucking happen, when it was consensual sex, or she raped him, and then she's saying that, and then when she got caught raping this motherfucker at gunpoint, or being held hostage, you know what I'm saying? Then she want to say, oh, he did it, or make up some fictitious so-called black person, or black persons, black men, or a group of black men, you know, saying that she was raped and attacked when it didn't fucking happen. Then towns are being, or then the black towns are being destroyed, bombed to death, being set on fire, being terrorized by a lying ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? Nobody questions that Caucasian female when she cries rape. Oh, but if a Caucasian male rapes her, y'all Caucasian bitches don't say shit. Or you just say the so-called black man did it, because you're too afraid to challenge that Caucasian male. But y'all talk about you want to be feminist, but y'all still have yet to challenge this misogynistic Caucasian male and challenge Caucasian male, what you call white male patriarchy, but you still stand by Caucasian males and take care of them, lay up with them, have kids. Oh, because I forgot, y'all hypergamous bitches. Y'all nothing more than your first hypergamous bitches, the first hypergamous sluts and whores and bitches. The first prostitute, the first hoe, baby mama, the single mother, you know what I'm saying? The first slut, the first whore, prostitute, the first lesbian, you know what I'm saying? The first child killer. You know what I'm saying? Y'all won't challenge Caucasian males because and throw them underneath the bus because you benefit off that system of Caucasian supremacy and the Caucasian patriarchal structure. That's why you won't do it. But y'all tell everybody else and try to demonize all men of color and the other non-Caucasian males and betray black and brown men to be the most violent, the violent killers, the most domestic, the biggest abusers, the spousal abusers, rapists, killers and shit, thieves and murderers. When it's not Caucasian male, but you protect him, you still give birth to your fucking son and still take care of him. Y'all tell your daughters, you know, give up a man with money. It's usually a Caucasian male who can take care of you. But you don't tell her to be strong and independent, but you tell so-called black women and other women of color, you know, that you don't need a man, but you can do it by yourself, and the Caucasian male is the end thing, but you get mad when the Caucasian male fucks with women of other ethnicities because you can't get that wealth. You can't get the resources. You're so afraid of losing your white privilege, especially your white female privilege. I mean, y'all bitches are retarded anyway. You Caucasian female bitches are retarded. Now, let me say this again, disclaimer. If you're not that type of chick, I ain't talking about you. If you're a Caucasian female and you're not racist, you're not a man-hater, you're not a feminist, and you don't lie on people, you don't lie on so-called black men, you don't lie on men, you don't make false accusations, falsely accuse men of sex crimes, falsely accuse men of rape, sexual harassment, domestic abuse. If you're not that type of chick, and just women in general, if you're not that type of female and you ain't a gold digger, I ain't talking about you. If you ain't a hoe and a slut, I'm not talking about you. So don't get mad and don't be offended when I talk about these other type of bitches who are doing dirt and doing wrong and doing ratchet shit. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Same with you Caucasian people. I mean, back to the subject. I mean, Caucasian people, I mean, y'all have done a lot of dirt. You tortured my people and my ancestors and grandparents and my parents, and you have tortured me and fucked me over with your systematic and institutional racism. Always starting trouble, always targeting and racially profiling people like me. Discriminating against me from certain services and jobs, and just like you did with my parents and grandparents and my other ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I had to take care of that. What I'm saying is, you Caucasian people, I mean, not only that, Jim Crow, feeding black babies to alligators, you have done other dirt. You have used other ethnic people of color as not just black people, but other groups of color, other groups of people of color, rape the women and children, rape the men, use them for disease, testing them for diseases, treat them like guinea pigs, using them for bombing experience, testing your bombs, nuclear bombs on these indigenous peoples from other parts of the world, and even here in America. AmeriKKKa, 3Ks, don't get it twisted and don't get it fucked up, you know what I'm saying? You have done dirt. You have stole from other people, stole land and resources, and deceived people. But you're proud of that. You're proud of that. But you don't want us to talk about it. You tell everybody else to forget about your fucking past and move on, but you have never moved on and forget about your fucking past. So when someone does you dirty, it can be like 100 years back. You still crying and bitching about it like a fucking faggot-ass bitch. Bitch, like a fucking faggot and a fucking money-ass, immature, stupid-ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? That makes you a fucking hypocrite. How are you going to tell so-called black people to get over the fucking past, get over slavery, get over Jim Crow, but we're still terrorized and still brutalized, still being maimed, raped, and murdered and lynched and being tortured and being bullied and harassed and tormented and being fucked over and discriminated against with your same behavior, but you changed your fucking approach. You're still gunning us down, and with the slave patrol, which are the current, which you changed the name to police officers, military. You're still sticking your noses in other people's business. You're still terrorizing other groups, vandalizing their property and stealing their shit and calling it yours, taking credit for shit that's not fucking yours to begin with. I mean, the statues, I do agree, the statues must, your evil ass history needs to, those statues and these monuments need to come the fuck down. And I stand by Angela Rye. She is a sexy ass woman, by the way. But, you know, but my thing is, when she was talking about the so-called black struggle, and this is why I'm getting suspicious of why they always have the so-called black woman speaking up for the team, for the whole entire race, for the so-called race of people. Why is it's always the so-called black woman speaking up for the black community, but they never ask the man. They never ask the so-called black man, the Nubian man, the original man, whatever you want to call him. Why they always have an ethnic woman? Why they always have a so-called black woman, an African woman, speaking about addressing the so-called black issues? I mean, I'm still trying to figure out why in the hell does the media, the Caucasian media, always, and when they ask Hold on a second. I'm back, y'all. Why in the hell do they always have, when it comes to representing the black community, black people, why do they always have the black woman, but they never have these black male activists? There's a lot of black men activists and a lot of black men who are in the position, who are in these political positions, or aware of these political positions, or in some type of arena, a social and political arena, when they had the opportunity and have a platform to speak. But it's always the black woman being picked, but they never asked the man. They never had the man debate with the Caucasian male and female. It's always the so-called black. It's always the black woman debating with the Caucasian male and female every now and then. But it's always the black woman. And I'm starting to catch on why they always let the black woman be in certain positions of power and opportunities. I know why, because she ain't a fucking threat. When Andrew, I mean, that's why. I mean, when that racist Caucasian male told that Simone, that sister, I think she's cute. She a little chubby, but she cute. I like to see her feet and body, her take her clothes off. But my thing is, why do they always have a sister representing us as the black populace in the black community? Why her and not him? And the reason why, I mean, throughout history, Caucasian people have always been comfortable with the so-called black women being in these so-called positions of power, which ain't really power. No, she can have a platform, but the black man can't have a platform. You know what I'm saying? She can make all the money and be the breadwinner of the family, but the black man can't. She can be the parent of the children and the head of the family house and the household, head of household and the family, and the leader of the family and leader of the community, but the black man can't. And the reason why that is, people, and I'm going to do a separate video about that, when that racist Caucasian male told that sister to shut up, Simone Sanders, I think that's her name is. And I'm going to address that too. And there's a clip of how Angela Rye always debating with Caucasian males, and how come they always put her in the spotlight, but not a brother who got knowledge and intelligence. And because there's a lot of brothers who are active and speaking out and doing things to try to combat racism and try to handle Caucasian supremacy and actually try to destroy and overthrow the government and overthrow the system. But see, again, like I said, women, you women ain't a threat to Caucasian supremacy. Y'all ain't a threat to the so-called white patriarchy. You ain't afraid, and you ain't a threat, and you will not just defeat white patriarchy. You won't. That's until y'all understand that. That's why y'all need to stay in your lane. I know what they're doing, but I mean, stop getting in our fucking way. Let the men handle the men, and you handle the women. Okay? But that's why that is. And like I said, I'm going to do a separate video and break that down and show you how they're doing it. I'm back. Like I'm saying, the reason why they had no problem having a woman be a multimillionaire like Oprah Winfrey, because she ain't going to do shit. Women don't build, men build. When men get money and power and resources, when a group of men have money, wealth, power, resources, and the ability to have influence and influence people and lead people, that's what they fear. That's what Caucasian supremacists and these Jewish supremacists fear about black men, us being leaders and builders and teachers and being head of household, being the leader of the family, taking care of business. They fear us. They fear the men. They don't fear you women. Why do you think they brought in feminism? Y'all didn't need feminism. Y'all needed these Caucasians to stop being racist against us as black people. Y'all issues was racism, not misogyny, not sexism. I mean, let's keep it real. We have your men to you black women. Your men, us, the black man, goes through more sexism than y'all. We go through more. We got to deal with racism, and we got to deal with misandry, sexism,
and gynocentrism. And they give y'all a privilege, female privilege, to deceive y'all and try to make it seem like your issues are just like the Caucasian female and these gay people and transgender and bisexual people. They don't give a fuck about y'all. The gay community, the transgender community, the bisexual people, you know, the guys and girls who are on the down low, don't give a fuck about you. The LGBTQ community don't give a fuck about us as black people. The Caucasian female, these dykes and these lesbians and these anti-men, anti-male, crazy ass Caucasian bitches don't give a fuck about you black women and women of color, period. Feminists, these Caucasian females who are feminists and these other pro-women groups, pro-white woman groups don't give a fuck about you black women. They don't give a fuck about y'all. They use y'all for numbers. The gay community use y'all for numbers. To you black gays and lesbian gays and you tranny motherfuckers and you down low men and you down low females. They don't give up. The gay community don't give a fuck about black people and black issues. The feminists don't give a fuck about black people because they just use y'all and use us for their numbers, for their fucking agenda. These Caucasian liberals that talk about they don't see color, we're all the same, we love each other, kumbaya is a fucking front. Those are the most racist motherfuckers because those same motherfuckers will not let a Caucasian girl date they will not let a Caucasian girl date a young black man. A young Caucasian woman date a black man. I'll say that one more time. These Caucasian liberals don't want us to be equal to them and have the same things they have. These Caucasian liberals and Caucasian people don't want us to have the same thing they have because they can't oppress us. If it was all equal and 50-50, and they gave us reparations, gave us independence and liberation, then they can't hold us down. They can't. Then they don't have no power. They don't have no privilege. That's why. That's one thing I agree with Cynthia. That's one thing I agree with that crazy weed diva bitch, Cynthia G, that fake pro-black bitch, Cynthia G and China Fox. Them two bitches I really can't fucking stand. But they're right on that. If they're equal and the playing field is leveled, then guess what? They can't have power and privilege. And it is what it is. So like I'm saying to y'all, these Caucasian liberals that, they don't see color, they're not racist, and they see everybody as human beings. It's bullshit. These are the most dangerous, racist motherfuckers that there is. I'd rather deal with an in-your-face, overt racist like a fucking blunt Klansman, a fucking skinhead, a neo-Nazi motherfucker, than a Caucasian, I'm so-called progressive, fake-ass liberal that don't want their daughter to date a so-called black man, and they don't want their son to date a so-called black woman. Oh, they'll allow him to fuck around with a so-called black woman and treat her like the side chick. They're okay with that, but no, marrying her and she got access to wealth and the resources and she living good, especially that generational wealth. Hell no. Be part of the family. Hell no. And for a so-called black man, they don't want the so-called black man to be with a Caucasian female. Even if the dude got money, they'll only tolerate his ass if he's a fucking coon, Negro peeing, worships the slave master, step and fetch sample type of dude, like your Jesse Lee Peterson, and these others. Because Jesse Lee Peterson is the biggest coon I ever seen on YouTube, and I don't know if he's on. I really don't care if he's on mainstream media. Your Larry Elders of the world, your Charles Barkley's. See, as long as that Caucasian female and her family gets that wealth, they're okay with they're okay with the so-called white woman dating that so-called black man. As long as he's a multimillionaire and he's obedient to the Caucasian supremacist system, then it's okay. As long as you pander to Caucasians and worship them and don't give a damn about the so-called black community, They're okay with that. But if you as a black person, black man, you as a black man like myself, and a black woman, if you got pride, love your heritage, respect your heritage, love your culture, know your history, understand what you deal with in so-called white AmeriKKKa, you have black pride and black knowledge, you know who you are and proud of who you are, you speak the truth to power, you call out racism and Caucasian supremacy, you expose white privilege. Oh, they don't want you to fuck around with them. These Caucasians don't want to be, these Caucasian folks don't want to have nothing to do with me like that, because I'll put them on their ass. You know what I'm saying? You talk about police brutality, you talk about us as people of color going through dealing with hate crimes and discrimination and systematic and institutional racism. Oh, they don't want to talk about that. They don't want us to have that discussion among each other as black people, and they do not want to hear that in mainstream white media. You understand? But you understand? That's how it is, and all it is. So these motherfuckers, like that Republican of that Republican, I don't know if it was a Republican, this governor of Maine, Paul Lee Page. I don't know, political candidate, governor of Maine. He's a Republican. Newt Gingrich, and these other motherfuckers, and these other political motherfuckers, these other Caucasian supremacist politicians, and these other news and these other motherfuckers from Fox News or Fox News type of media outlets working, that are part of the Caucasian supremacist system. You know what I'm saying? These Caucasian supremacists, the ones who are politicians, work in government, work with the media, or they got these companies, they work with these big time companies, or the CEO of their own companies, but they got a platform. These Caucasian supremacists, they don't like the fact, and these Caucasians elites like your Donald Trumps don't like the fact, they hate the fact that we are not that us as people of color are not to get along top of Negroes. They're used to Negro peons. They're used to fucking coons. They're used to these handkerchief heads, Sambos, Aunt Your Mama, Negro Bedouins, Uncle Ruckus, Aunt Thomasita type of Negro peon coons. These house niggers. They're used to the house niggers. You know what I'm saying? I'll say that one more time. I'll say some of the people, some of my people like myself who ain't to go along to get along, kumbaya type of Negro peon, who like your Jesse Lee Peterson, your Sambo, your Uncle Ruckus, your Aunt Your Mama, your Sage Steele type, your Aunt Thomasita type, these Negro bedwenches, and these Sambos and step and fetch type of house niggers. Yes, a master, yes, a boss type of Negroes. See, since a lot of us, since this generation, even though you have half coon and half conscious and real woke people, see the fact that they can't manipulate us and can't fuck us over, because it's out in the open. You got discrimination on tape with the camera phones. You got police brutality with these phones, with these camera phones and these cameras. You see injustice everywhere on mainstream media now, since everybody's starting to wake up. Everybody's starting to wake up and see the system for what the fuck it is. And you got some Caucasian people who are already see it for what it is, and they're sick and tired of the system of Caucasian supremacy, not just fucking people of color over, but they're getting fucked over as well because of classism. Now, since they see it for what it is, now they're the ones who are against racism and Caucasian supremacy and actually willing to speak out and do something. Let me say it like this: the only reason why is to be careful to you people of color, to y'all to us as black folks, to you black folks watching. Be careful. Just because they're marching, these Caucasians are marching with us, that don't mean they're down for us. The only reason why they're upset at the whole situation that happened out in Charlottesville, Virginia, and these other riots, and these riots are happening out in Durham, North Carolina, and the statues being taken down, and people taking down the statues, and we're protesting that these monuments be taken down. Hold on. You got people of all ethnicities, and all classes and walks of life and backgrounds, different backgrounds. They're seeing the system for what it is. There's some of them are some of us. No matter who you are, and no matter what your skin color is, doesn't matter what your ethnicity is, doesn't matter what your culture is, whether you were born in America or live outside the USA, you see the system for what it is. But let me say this. The reason why you have a lot of Caucasian folks protesting among us as people of color is because a Caucasian female was murdered by a Caucasian supremacist. I don't know if it was a Jewish woman or just the typical Anglo-Saxon Caucasian female. You see, when their own gets fucked over and they're a victim of their own fucked up, retarded ass system, evil ass, inhumane Caucasian supremacist system, and they get fucked over and they get killed by their own system, then they want to now they want to say kumbaya and all that type of bullshit and march with us because they got an agenda, but they ain't down with us. They just mad because one of their own got their own system backfired on them. But let's talk about these monuments and these historical Caucasian supremacist statues being taken down, and us is starting to know who the fuck are these people, these famous people who had statues and these other monuments that represents these Caucasian supremacists. A lot of these Caucasian folks, Caucasian supremacists, racist Caucasian folks are mad because they feel they're losing their history. The Confederate flag is being taken down. They can't use the Confederate flag to represent hate and evil and destruction and Caucasian supremacy and oppression of people of color. They hate the fact that you have people who are celebrities, especially in professional sports like football, like the NFL, and even some in the NBA who are not participating in the anthem, national anthem. That just pisses them off. But and you got these motherfuckers, doesn't matter who they are, who lean to the right or to the left, or they straddle the fence, these Caucasian supremacists crying about our past and our history, or we can't represent, it's our past and history, it's important to learn history. But that history that they were taught was fucking bullshit. But the fact of the matter is, but Caucasian folks, that's the past. It's a long time ago. Get over it. You Southern Caucasian people, get over the past, the fact that you lost the Civil War. You lost the war. When it came to the North versus the South, you lost that war. Get over it. Move on. The fact that you cry about fucking Pearl Harbor, you still bitching and crying over that shit. That was a long time ago. And I told you that was an inside job by the United States government, which is Caucasian people, and Caucasian people run that shit. That's a long time ago. I'm the Alamo. You crying over that shit. World War I, World War II, the Korean War. You're crying over that shit. The Vietnam War. You're bitching about that shit. 9/11. You're crying and bitching about that shit. You're talking about these other terrorists, but you're the original terrorists. You're talking about all these brown people being terrorists. But one thing I respect the brown people, like your Arabs, the Middle Eastern people, and these Asians and Indians. One thing I give them credit for, they don't take your shit like we take our like us as black American people and black people all over the globe. We're so forgiving, we're so docile and sweet and loving to you and forgiving and affectionate. No, they don't play that shit. These other groups, these other brown folks don't give a fuck about that. They don't talk about take the high road, two wrongs don't make a right. You're no better than they are if you do the same dirt that they do. No, fuck that. Stop falling for that brainwashing, my people. My brothers and sisters, stop falling for that bullshit. Miss me with that two wrongs don't make a right bullshit. It does make a fucking right. When someone wrongs you, you have the right to wrong them back. Like I was saying, when someone wrongs you and does you dirt, does do you wrong and do you dirty and fuck you over, you have the right to get even and do it better than they did. Stoop down to their fucking level. Miss me that violence don't solve anything. Yes, it does. When somebody trying to come at you and try to harm you, try to fucking kill you and your fucking family and friends, you better use what they use. You better fight fire with fucking fire. Violence is the fucking answer when it comes to self-defense. Violence and self-defense. Understand that. When someone wrongs you and do you dirty, you have the right to do them. You have the right to do the same thing. Mess me with that. What goes around comes around. Oh, when they die, they're going to go to hell and pay for that shit. No, fuck that. Get your heaven now and put these motherfuckers through fucking hell. You gotta fight back, my people. You gotta fight fucking back. Stop taking it in the ass. Stop letting these motherfuckers rape us with no damn Vaseline. No. Someone does you dirt, do you wrong, you have the right to confront them and beat their ass. You have the right to get even. You have the right to not only get even, but take it to the next level, make them suffer and make them pay for it. Make them feel your pain and suffering. Pain and make these motherfuckers, these racist Caucasian and these other prejudice groups who are cover struck and suffer and got a cover struck colorism mindset, but especially these Caucasian supremacists, you make them feel your fucking wrath and get even and make them pay. You hear me? Fuck that, take the high road. God will deal with them. Karma's coming. What goes around comes around. No, fuck that shit. When they're violent towards you, you be violence back. That's intelligence. I support Malcolm X on that one. Martin Luther King started saying the same stuff that Malcolm X was saying. That's why they fucking killed him. But they always show Martin Luther King being that sweet, docile, march, pray, just let people disrespect you and bully you and listen and take Gandhi's approach. First of all, Gandhi, I would not say he's racist. He's prejudiced because because Indian people are not in a position. If you look at their conditions in India, they're not in the position of power to be racist like that. But they are suffering from colorism and self-hatred. That's why they hate us, because we represent who they fucking are. They come from us. That's why they don't like us. And plus they have been brainwashed with Caucasian supremacy. So understand that. Okay? You got to understand when these other brown people, these other ethnic people of color, like your Indian, like East Indians and Asians and Arabs and Latinos, they're suffering from colorism, and that's the type of hatred, prejudice. Not racism, prejudice. So understand the difference. But these Caucasian motherfuckers, they are the ones they are the racist. They're huge, big time racist pieces of shit, racist parasites. No, fuck that. Take the high road. No, take the low road like these motherfuckers are. They stick. Now, I'm not saying go tit for tat and do some bitch ass passive aggressive shit. No, we don't have to do it like that. But when someone does us wrong, we have the right to confront them and hold them accountable. When they strike at us, we got to take them out. We got to strike back, but also take them out. Clap back like we got to clap the fuck back and fuck them up, and take them out. Defend yourselves. That's what I'm saying. But like I said, I support that America and the government and a lot of people are pushing that these racist Caucasian supremacist representation monuments and statues be taken down, and these slave owners be looked at for who they are and not be honored and respected. Take down these fucking monuments. Take down these fucking statues. We got to stop honoring these fucking racists. We got to know the truth, or the real truth of the fucking history in this fucking nation, in this fucking country, in this history worldwide, and especially the history of Europeans and the history of Caucasians, period. Especially these fucking British and American, these Caucasian American motherfuckers, that they're fucking evil and dirty, and don't forget the Australians. They have done dirt. Look at what they have done to the Aborigines people, their Aboriginal people, whatever the fuck you call it, to other indigenous people. You know what I'm saying? How does it feel, Caucasian people, to take your own fucking medicine? Y'all like to dish it, but when someone gives it back to you, you can't handle it. You want to cry like a fucking bitch, like a fucking emotional tampon of a fucking faggot. Oh, our history. No, you need to get over your fucking history. Get over it. It's the fucking past. Move the fuck on. It's the past, man. It's the past, bitch. The past, fag. It's the fucking past, Caucasian male and female. It's move on. Get over it. You don't have it like that no damn more. You're not the slave master. You're not the slave owner. You're never. You were never. I mean, to your millennial Caucasian folks, y'all millennial Caucasians were never slave masters. You'll never be slave owners. We're not us as people of color ain't gonna take your fucking shit no goddamn more. We ain't gonna take you. We're not gonna let you bully us and mistreat us and do us dirty. You're gonna give back our fucking reparations. You're gonna give us reparations, and we're not gonna ask you. We're gonna fucking take it from you. And my thing is, even though they're taking down the Confederate flag and they're not showing it in public anymore, and they're taking down these Caucasian supremacist monuments and these statues of these slave masters and slave owners, my thing is this: that's just because they take it down. Gee, this is to people of color. This is to my people, black people. Understand this. Just because they're removing this shit, that doesn't mean they're going to stop being racist. Like I told y'all, if you really want to affect change and destroy racism and eradicate it, only Caucasian people can stop being racist. Only they can destroy Caucasian supremacy and destroy the system of Caucasian supremacy and end white privilege. Like I've been saying, Caucasian people are the only ones who can end racism and destroy Caucasian supremacy and give up their white privilege. And we know those who are realistic, that's probably not going to happen. They're not going to do the right thing. Stop it to all people of color, all non-Caucasian people, and especially black people. Stop thinking that these motherfuckers got a moral compass and they're going to do the right thing. They're not. In war, you gotta take it. You gotta conquer. You gotta stop being nice. My thing is, like I said, if you go to good Caucasian people, what are you doing to end racism? Y'all the only ones who can stop it. Stop teaching your kids to hate darker skinned people of color. Stop teaching hate. That's where you can start at. Those who are racist, call them out on it and hold them accountable. You see discrimination, say something. And don't tell me, oh, they might do this and do this and do that. They might kill me. My thing is, if you care about people, you do the right thing regardless. Stop messing with that excuse. You'll be disowned. If your family don't love you like that, if they're going to disown you because you are doing the right thing and you care about people, then they don't love you. I'm back. Like I said, Caucasian people, to you Caucasian people who are not racist, my thing is either put up or shut up. Either you're going to fight racism along with us, and you're going to stop teaching your children and call out those who are racist and hold them accountable and be willing to destroy the system of Caucasian supremacy and end racism, because only y'all can do that. Y'all know that racism exists. You don't live through it, but you don't give a fuck because you think it doesn't affect you. It doesn't, but it does when you are looked at as the villain. People throughout history, to you Caucasian folks, you are the first thug. You are the original thug. You are the original gangster. You are the original drug dealer, terrorist, rapist, pedophile, child molester. You're the original sodomizer. You're the original violent people, domestic, of causing and starting and doing domestic violence onto other people, bully, thief, murderer, and inhumane type of people. All people throughout this globe, throughout the planet, throughout history, and currently have died in the hands of being murdered by Caucasians and being murdered, beaten, tortured, robbed, raped, lynched, and other evil atrocities, bombed, terrorized, and brutalized, and just being murdered and being victims of genocide by Caucasians. The good ones, the so-called good Caucasian people, you're afraid to call out racism, hold your family accountable, call out your parents accountable, your family members, other people, other Caucasian people. Y'all got ties to Caucasian supremacists. Y'all got ties with the fucking Klan and these other Caucasian supremacist domestic terrorist organizations. Y'all know who they are, but y'all don't want to. But y'all don't expose them because you're afraid of being looked at as a nigger lover. But y'all love hanging around black folks. You love copying us, emulating us, and trying to be like us. But you try to say we are ugly and we're horrible and terrible. But you benefit off of our struggle, our creations, our inventions, and our intelligence and our talent. Y'all make money off it. But we're the bad guys, right? Fuck out of here. When Angela Rye was trying to explain about slavery, and this racist Caucasian person, this Caucasian male bitch, he look Hispanic, but they got that type of mindset. These Caucasian Spanish people who speak Spanish got that same type of mindset of the typical English-speaking Caucasian person, Anglo-Saxon. They're all in the same group. Same with the so-called Jews. They're all in that same boat. They're all in that same category of being a Caucasian supremacist. My thing, if you're not racist and against racism, prove it. Prove it. Stop teaching racism. Call out those who are racist in racism. Call out racism for what it is and acknowledge it. Take responsibility for it. You had something to do with it. You are responsible and you are benefiting off the pain and suffering of my ancestors, and you are benefiting from the evil, demonic, wicked ways and doings and the evil and vicious, violent doings of your forefathers and mothers. You're reaping the benefits of those who are evil, how they got to what they have. And the reason why you have a privilege, because you have oppressed others. Your ancestors have oppressed others and terrorized people, raped, pillaged, murdered, maimed, lynched, and committed genocide on others who were of a different skin, who had skin pigmentation, who had a different skin color than you and got melanin in their skin. All because you fear genetic annihilation. So y'all have done dirt and need to own up to it. My thing is, if you cared about black people, just like y'all had no problem giving the Jews and forced Obama to pay reparations to those Jews when America had nothing to do with the fucking Holocaust. Y'all gave the Japanese reparations. You gave those of the Alaskan natives, indigenous people reparations. All these other groups reparations. The Native Americans reparations, even though it was a long time ago, like y'all say. But you'll have yet to give, quote unquote, African people, black American people who built this country reparations in the peace. And giving us the whole pie since we made this country the way it is. We have been more patriotic and loyal to this country. You Caucasian motherfuckers haven't. Donald Trump ain't doing shit for y'all. It's for you Caucasian folks. He has ties to Russia. And you have a lot of these other Caucasian people who have committed treason on America. Who committed treason against America, but y'all don't call them motherfuckers out. Y'all don't call out Dylann Roof when he burnt the goddamn flag, but y'all supported him when he killed nine so-called black people in a so-called black church. Y'all okay with that shit and laughing alongside of him because he killed somebody, and y'all try to get his lawyer so he can get off and make excuses for him, and he got special treatment and got Burger King and got a nice cozy flight to South Carolina, but they arrested him in North Carolina and brought him back to where he's from, South Carolina. Okay, so so my thing is, if you want us to move forward, tell the truth, own up to your shit, give us reparations, give us our land, all the stuff that you stole from the Native Americans, give that shit back. All the people that you stole land and resources, give the resources and the wealth back to those original people, to the indigenous people from these different native lands. Give it back to the natives of the indigenous peoples that you stole wealth, resources, and their technology, their inventions from, especially Africa. Y'all say go back to Africa, which is a racist ass statement. You racist Caucasian folks who like to tell so-called black people to go back to Africa. But y'all, first of all, it was before Europeans came to the motherland, it was not Africa. Y'all named that the original land, the motherland, the original continent, Nubia Kush, Africa. Y'all have raped and pillaged the fuck out of Africa, enslaved people, raped, pillaged, maimed, brutally murdered and raped and terrorized and destroyed, damn near practically destroyed Africa, and stole land and resources and manipulated people. And you have and Caucasian supremacy is going strong out there. You have made nations poor because nations, those nations in Africa poor and destroyed. Then they destroyed the fucking tribes of those groups in Africa, of the Africans, and now it's a fucking wasteland. You have destroyed it, and the reason why y'all have the wealth and power and the privilege and the prestige is because you stole everything from everybody else. You stole resources and wealth from Africa, Asia, Australia, all these other parts of the world. The islands, conquer and terrorize, maim, brutalize, terrorize, rape, pillage, murder, and commit genocide on all different groups of people. And people who do not look like you, and people who can handle the sun and don't have to worry about skin cancer. People, other ethnic people of color, and the original people of color, known as black people. You know what I'm saying? But y'all want to remind everybody how evil and vicious you motherfuckers are. But y'all want to be looked at as the fucking angels and the fucking victims when you are the fucking terrorist. You are the perpetrators. And if you're not like that, what are you doing to eradicate the system of Caucasian supremacy and end racism? What are you doing to make sure people like me and my ancestors and since I'm the descendant of slave and you're the descendants of the slave master and the slave owners, how about give us the land of reparations and resources and get the fuck out of Africa? Stop building these military bases and these other countries of color, these brown countries, black and brown countries, and other ethnic people of color's countries. Stop building these military bases. Stop terrorizing, stealing, raping, pillaging, maiming, brutalizing, and beating up people, destroying people, destroying the life source, the land and the resources, and stealing that shit too. How about stop doing that shit? Committing genocide on these other groups of people who have done nothing to you, and stealing resources and stealing their technology, their inventions, and taking credit for all that shit. And other resources and other riches and other wealth and other minerals of the land, and calling it yours, and stealing their ideas just so you can maintain your power and privilege and enjoy the wealth and prestige that you stole it from. How about stop doing that shit? Like I said, you Caucasian folks talking about your fucking history and how you can't celebrate it, but you tell other people who suffered from your evil, wicked ways of your forefathers and foremothers, y'all tell us to get over slavery. Move on from Jim Crow. All those people are dead, but you're still alive because they were able to keep their DNA, their bloodlines alive because because men and women fuck each other and have kids, and your kids have kids, and you got grandkids, and your grandkids have kids, and you're a great grandparent. They keep generations alive. Nobody's dead, you stupid idiot. You stupid idiots. Wake the fuck up out here. 9/11 was in the fucking past. Y'all need to get over that. Tell the Jews, the so-called Jews, to get over the fucking Holocaust. And stop taking care of Israel and doing their dirty work and helping them out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get over y'all being dominated by the Middle Easterners, the Arabs. Get over World War I and II. Get over the Korean War and crying about how those soldiers died when they were shit starters and terrorists and rapists and child molesters and bombing other nations just so you can be on top and steal shit. How about you get over the fact that you lost the Vietnam War? Get over that shit. Get over Pearl Harbor. Get over the fucking Alamo. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get over it. And get over the fact that you're never going to be like your ancestors that were slave masters and slave owners. You're never going to be that, because the powers that be, they're controlling you too, and they see y'all as working slaves. Guess what? Last time I checked, y'all pay taxes just like me. Y'all pay taxes. Y'all pay bills. Why the fuck are you paying bills if you're so privileged? Why do y'all have to get a job too and keep a roof over your head struggling, and gas is high, the food cost is ridiculously high, everything's fucking high. But y'all think Donald Trump gives a fuck about you, especially you poor Caucasian folks. Y'all stupid dumb as hell. You think you think wealthy Caucasian people, elite Caucasians, give a fuck about poor Caucasian folks. And y'all think they're gonna make America white again. And it's not gonna fucking happen like that. When y'all say make America great, what y'all really saying is bring back Jim Crow, try to bring back slavery. Let's be like, y'all want the millennials, the Generation X, and the millennial Caucasians want to be like their ancestors, being on top, where they were the slave owners and the slave masters. These Caucasians want to be like that, and their wives that they claim to be, the women, the Caucasian females claim to be oppressed, want to be like that, don't have to do nothing but sit back and reap the benefits of free labor, and she enjoys the riches of her fucking husband that's cheating on her and beating her fucking ass every day, and raping other women and cheating on her. Okay? Hold on a second. My final point is this. Today is a new day, and to you Caucasian supremacists who hate my fucking guts and hate the fucking truth, y'all need to, and to your non-racist Caucasians, what y'all need to do is get after these fucking trolls and stay out and have these and tell these other Caucasian supremacists to mind their own fucking business. Let so-called black people, let us as black people take care of ourselves and work on our problems and fix shit in our fucking community. Let the other people mind you, just like you mind the Asian people's business. You mind the Mexican business. You mind everybody else's business. Y'all stay out of the Asians and the East Indians business, the Latinos business. You don't stick your nose in their business as much. You're starting to now. And the Arabs business, even though you call them terrorists, but y'all need to mind your own business. Caucasians, y'all need to worry about issues in your own community. Y'all need to address white on white crime. Y'all need to worry about that. Y'all need to worry about how come your birth rates are so fucking low. Caucasian birth rates are so fucking low, and why y'all damn near becoming extinct. And I think everybody loves that. No, non-Caucasian people are thrilled that y'all going to be extinct in the near future. My thing, if you're not, I'm just going to say it like this. My last point is this. My thing is, if you're serious, my thing is to Caucasian folks. You're never going to have the glory that y'all did 100 of years ago. Let it go. You know what I'm saying? And stop making excuses and rationalizing evil, because that makes you a racist. It makes you a terrorist. It makes you a Caucasian supremacist. It makes you a rapist and a racist. Okay? It does. And if you're not those things, clean your act up and stop doing that shit and call out racism for what it is, and stop allowing other Caucasians who got children and got relatives and the youth to stop these older Caucasian people stop them from teaching the youth and these children and these babies racism to hate people of color. And stop thinking that you're better than everybody, because you're not. Because the way this world is falling apart and this country's falling apart is on your doing. It's nobody else's fault but the Caucasian male and the Caucasian female's fault. But the band's gonna be looked at as the fuck up at the end of the story. Y'all gotta destroy. Y'all can change. Y'all can stop racism and get laws passed to stop it, and y'all can stop it. And you can end Caucasian supremacy by destroying the system and making sure that everybody gets what's owed to them, and we be equal, and make sure my people get the reparations and stop being victims of your discrimination and racism and institutionalized racism, and being racially profiled and disrespected on a constant basis, and being lied on and being lied to. Stop that shit. If you're a Caucasian person and you claim to be not racist, but you don't do what I'm telling you to do, and so we can progress and move forward, then you obviously need to shut the fuck up, because you are a closet racist and you cannot be trusted and you're dangerous. I'd rather deal with somebody who's overt and blatant and obviously racist and be racist to my fucking face than grin and smile on my fucking face and stab me in the goddamn back. How about that? So that's why I'm glad that they're tearing down and destroying these Confederate monuments and statues and stuff and all the other memorabilia and putting it in a fucking museum and I hope to God that y'all gonna start telling the truth, but I'm just holding my breath, and I shouldn't be doing that. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. The hate has to stop, and y'all caused the division, so y'all had to stop the division, because y'all the ones who causing it. I'm out. Peace to you Caucasian folks. Stop the division, because you're the one who's doing it and causing it. I'm out. Peace.